Happy Mondays, everyone. So these videos, these Happy Monday videos are aimed at small business owners who are looking to either start or grow and scale a small business. So today we're going to be looking at Zoom meetings, and the checklist, if you like, for all of the apps that we put on are, does it have the functions that we actually want? Is there a free or very cheap option for you to be able to come in and evaluate it in your own time? And lastly, is it going to scale? You don't want to invest loads of money into learning a new app only to find that it actually isn't suitable for your business as it starts to grow. So Zoom meetings is basically an app which replaces the need for things like Google Hangouts or using Skype for Business. Most of them will do similar stuff. We particularly like Zoom. We find it very stable. We find the quality of the audio and the video very good, and it has all the functionality we need to use a single app for all of the functions we need this type of software to do in our business. And I'll go through those now. So we run all our one-to-one meetings through Zoom meetings. We primarily are we're very 100% a remote company. So all our staff live all over the world, and we speak to them really only through video communication. So having a stable platform to do that is really, really important. And you should be thinking about that in the future, because that's the way small businesses is going. It's about remote teams and utilizing people from all over the world to get a better value for money for the money you spend on your staff. Building rapport for people requires that you actually look at them in the face, even if it is digitally, and therefore doing things on a phone or definitely not on email. Absolutely, you need to be able to see somebody to be able to start building rapport with them, or much more quickly build rapport with them. And that's where having a stable platform to do that on makes a lot of sense. And Zoom is that platform for us. We also use it for all our presentations. So that's both internal presentations to our staff for meetings, also for all our client communications with regards to content that we produce, and doing any presentations to public. We invite people to either a Zoom meeting or a Zoom webinar, which I'll touch on shortly. Great thing about it, guest management. So you can either just have a URL which you share with people and they turn up at a given time, or you can actually have them register and they have to then give their details, and then you can then send them reminders and stuff. And that's also good if you're building lists and stuff and you want to get people to come to a free event. Then you can get their email addresses so you can follow them up, and hopefully they will become a client of yours in the future. So has all that functionality too. From a customer services point of view, so how we help and serve our clients, is that we can actually use Zoom, the same app, and take over their computer. So we can start controlling their mouse and also click on things and make things happen. So we can actually take over and do whatever we need to do to fix a client's computer remotely using Zoom. You can obviously do screen shares as well. You can have presentation boards, whiteboards, all of the stuff that you'd imagine from a really good, robust business level meetings app is available in Zoom as well. So another really cool feature is auto record. So automatically any meeting we have is recorded, and you can choose to either record it locally or you can record it onto their own servers. Now we primarily record stuff locally into a shared G Suite drive, so it's automatically backed up to the cloud anyway and that everyone can access. But it means that we're not having to pay Zoom for their storage, because it is quite expensive when you get into their storage contracts. However, it's really, really useful. If I know I've got an important meeting coming up and I'm going to be out of the office, whether I'm out doing something in nature, skiing or whatever, or I'm just away from my computer, I can still run the entire meeting from my mobile phone and record it to the cloud so it can be processed and published later if needed. Primarily, as I say, we don't do that, record locally into a shared drive, but it's really nice to have that functionality and all built in. And you get a limited amount for free or included in the basic version, so you don't need to upgrade as long as you keep on clearing it at the end. If you want to go for the free, I'm just looking at some notes here so don't forget, sorry. There is a free version. It's free for one-to-ones as long as you want, and group meetings up to 40 minutes, which is ample for the majority of staff. So it gives you as I always say, a test bed or a time to test the software at your own leisure, make sure it's right for you and your company before taking the dive, actually investing into it. When you are ready to upgrade, to increase your meeting length, for example, then you can pay for the pro version, which is about $99 a month, I think. It's totally scalable. One of the really key things with all the software we ever try to employ in our company is that it has user management. That means that we can delegate the responsibility to somebody else to do all of the admin. So setting up meetings, rescheduling, sorting out the app itself, speaking to customer services. We want our team to do that. Us business owners don't want to get involved with dealing with the admin side of any of the software that we use. So it has to have the functionality that we can delegate that and not just sharing our logins with somebody else. We want to be able to professionally give someone a login, and this has that functionality. So that ticks that box too. Cool other feature, Zoom Rooms. So this is not going to be relevant for many people. We don't use this, but I've used it when I've gone to conference centers or when I've done shared office, co-hab working type stuff, where you basically borrow an office for a day. And you go in and basically using Zoom meetings, you can then project what's on your computer directly to the screen in the meeting room without any wires or anything. It's a really cool thing. It's not something we use. If you are in an office and you actually have a setup, then anyone can basically ping from their laptop straight to the screen in the room without any wires. And if you've ever tried to go into someone else's office and use a projector, you'll know that you need about 10 different wires just to get it to work half the time. So this is a really cool feature. Not something I've used personally, but something I have used in other people's offices. Lastly, webinars. So we used to run all our webinars basically just through a meeting. That would be, we just invite people to the meeting, they turn up. However, we've recently upgraded to the webinar version of Zoom Rooms, and it's got some extra little features. So Q&A sessions, for example, we can do cool polls, and you can also live stream to Facebook Live, for example. So you can actually run a meeting with people coming who are invited, but then actually stream the whole thing live direct to your audience in Facebook as well. So again, most webinar apps, sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. Most webinar apps do allow most of these functionalities, as with all of these things. There are other alternatives. I've mentioned Google Hangouts, for example. Instead of using this, it's another free app you can use. However, we really like everything to be one place, to be totally scalable, have user management, and we've got the free versions, we can check it out first, but having it all in a professional setup with a support desk, which you can actually use to get help when we need it, that's the sort of stuff that we look for when we look for good apps. This is a brilliant app for one-to-one meetings, group meetings, and for webinars or public-facing stuff as well. So I hope that's helpful. I'd highly recommend Zoom. Go for it. We get nothing out of doing these videos. We just like stuff and apps. So we type the stuff that we like, so you can hopefully use it too. I hope that helps. Cheers. Bye.